Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Cornerbrook Civic Center, where we have the first game at the Cornerbrook Civic Center this season between the Western Driving School Kings and the visiting East Coast Blizzard. We have a nice crowd here tonight, here at the Kinsman Arena, to see this matchup between the last year's Newfoundland Major Midget champions, the East Coast Blizzard, and our hometown Western Kings. Referees for tonight, Kyle George and Zach Fagan. We're about to get this thing going here now. Opening faceoff, we have Yabsley and Austin for the draw. Austin wins it. Percy up through. Pucks goes in. We're going to have our first icing of the game. And that'll bring the puck all the way back. Faceoff to the left of starting goaltender for the Western Kings, Andrew Dillon. Puck goes down behind the net. O'Keefe down behind the net for the Blizzard. Clear Yabsley. Over to his D partner. Shot comes in on Dillon. He handles it. It's going to be another face-off just to the left of him. Face-off win by Austin. Down behind the net is Applin. Applin comes out. He flips it up through. Puck goes through. Set play. We're going to no icing. Icing is waved off. Austin with the puck all the way back, but nobody's there. Hamlin. Back to Austin now. Comes in through. Austin with a shot. Save. Puck's loose. Hamlin shoots. Puck's still loose in front of net. Griffiths is down injured behind the play. We have a whistle. We got our first penalty of the hockey game. It looks like it's going to the Kings. Austin is getting 2 minutes or less for cross-checking. Starting goalie for the East Coast Blizzard tonight is Healy. Players being tended to down behind the Blizzard bench. He's slow to get to his feet. Hopefully nothing serious. $19.09 left to play here in the first period. Blizzard will get their first chance on the power play here. Players up is going off. I'm sure he'll be back in the next shift here. So we got Duffett here lined up against Finn Furlong for this face-off to the right of Dillon. Face-off win for the Blizzard. Hines now for Blizzard. He looks across to Dillon. Dillon has it again. Here's a shot through. Rebound. Open. Dillon covers it. And goaltender Andrew Dillon covers it. There's going to be another face-off to his left. Face-off win for the Blizzard. Hines now looks through, has a shot, goes high and over. Blizzard D holds the line. Cleared down the ice by Lambswood. Hines back for Blizzard. Sets up behind his net. Makes his way up through. Passes up through the neutral zone. Puck eludes Galton. Galton puts it around the back of the net. Squeezes his way out around the other side. Kings make a change. Hines now with the puck. And around the net. Puck goes down around Applin now for the Kings. He clears it down out of harm's way. Dillon back to get it. He's being pressured by Sims. All the way back now to Bursey. Bursey takes the puck and goes down and sets behind the Kings net. Waits to see who's here, and he clears it down the ice all the way down for another change. Hamlin stumbles here, going for it. Picked up by the Blizzard player. Offside. So we have 36 seconds left in the penalty to Austin. 17:45 left here in the first period, still 0-0. We have Jones lined up against Hamlin for this faceoff. Jones wins the draw, puts it back to Purdy. Purdy dumps it in around the net. Far side, Applin's there to get it. He retrieves it for the Kings. Sims now gets it down all the way, taken out by Russell. Purdy, nice retreat up to Jones. Jones gains a red line, gains a blue line. Nice little move. Picked up by, didn't get all the way out. Purdy now for the Blizzard. Percy holds it on the wall. Penalty is now over. And we still have a little bit of a scramble down the corner between Russell and Bercy. Jones now with a shot. Steered away to the corner by Dillon. Puck's now out in the neutral zone. Back to get it is Russell. Up to Jordy Flynn. Gosney. Over to Sims. Sims. Austin. Puts it down him behind the net. Alexander after the puck. Well, we got a bit of a hard hit there. Alex Coles through the neutral zone. It's been through Griffiths. And the puck's still loose down the corner. Gavin Connors now comes away with it for the Blizzard. He puts it up to Ethan Percy. Percy and Mercy. We got a 3-on-1 here. Back to Connors. Connors puts it across, misses him. Jackson Rousel now for the Kings. Dumps it in, goes after it. Back to get it is the Blizzard defenseman. Gets it out, comes back through the zone. Murphy gets there first to the puck. Alexander brings it up over across to Lucas. Lucas puts it up to Rousel. Rousel makes it go back. The puck's coming through again. Connors with the puck again. Dangerous player. Nice move. Another nice move. Puck's right there loose, but it's going to be cleared away, and it's going to be icing. But that was probably the best scoring chance so far for the Blizzard. Couple nice moves by Gavin Connors. Puck was loose there for Percy, and he missed it on the attempt. So we got another face-off here to the left of Dillon. This is going to be Gavin Butt taking the face-off for the Kings up against Yabsley from the Blizzard. Blizzard wins the face-off. Picked up by Butt. He gets it out, goes to Lucas. Morgan Castle dumps it into the Blizzard zone. Back to stop the puck is the Blizzard goaltender. Kept in by Lambswood. Down in behind the net is Hines. For the Blizzard, he makes his way through his own end. Comes up with steam. Still with the puck. Taken out by Applin over on the boards. Applin comes away with the... And we got another penalty, I think. Not sure of the call here. Looks like it could be Morgan Castle for a hooking penalty. 2 minutes or less. So this is the second power play for the East Coast Blizzard. 15:02 left in the first period. Austin is lined up here for this face-off against McCarthy. Puck's cleared around to the other side, but Yabsley's there to stop it for the Blizzard. He now puts it across to Dillon. Dillon puts it down to his winger there, puts it cross side, tipped out, but not out. Yabsley now with it again. Next to room around Aiden Applin. McCarthy, back to Dillon. Dillon, over to the Yabsley. Yabsley, across ice to the Blizzard player. Yabsley again. Uses the screen shot. Nice play here. Coles. Percy now. Austin. McCarthy. With the puck, looking, waiting. Stopped by Dylan. It's going to be another face-off to the left of Dylan. Minute and 15 left in the power play. Great crowd on hand here at the Kinsman Arena here in the Civic Center tonight. Lots of stuff happening here at the Corner Brook Civic Center. We have the agricultural fair that's occurring on the main ice surface. Lots of different booths. If you're in town, come check it out. Hardy over to Connors. Connors now looking for space, and Dylan with another save. He's got lots of action so far in this first 6 minutes of this game. And he's been holding the puck, good control. Kings are sporting their new jerseys tonight. They look very sharp. Percy wins that draw back to Connors. Connors with a nice little move around. Connors down below the goal line, comes back up the wall. Patience, looking to see who he can pass to. Got a little move across Furlong. Over to Percy. Percy goes across again. And no goal. That was a close call for the East Coast Blizzard. Connors eludes Furlong. Puts it back up to Percy. Percy, quarterback in this one, has some people to move certain places. There he goes across ice to Russell. And there's our first goal for the Blizzard. First goal of the season here in the Kinsman Arena. A power play marker at the 13:32 mark. Sorry, Party. Number 44, Party. Got that goal for the East Coast Blizzard. We'll wait for the formal announcement. And it's 1-0 for the East Coast Blizzard here with 13 minutes left in the first period. Let's see how the Kings respond to that goal. Gosney up through to Sims. Sims puts it in deep. And after it is Richards. Richards leaves it there for the Blizzard player. The Blizzard player comes through now. East Coast Blizzard players moving through. We got number that was Skinner for the East Coast Blizzard. Raymond Skinner. A nice shot on net. Duffett and Richards for this face-off. Face-off win for the Blizzard. Shot didn't get through. Back to get it is Applin. Applin puts it across to Hamlin. He puts it up through. Now we got Sims going for it. Griffiths gets it down for the Blizzard, and it's put out of play. 12:47 here. First period, still 1-0 for the East Coast Blizzard. We got Buffett and Alexander for this face-off. Puck goes down behind the net here. Blizzard puts across to his wing. Kept in by Applin. Applin shoots it towards the net. And that is not going to get past Healy if he can see it. Stop the clock! Jones and Alexander for this face-off. Jones wins the draw, goes back into behind the net. Flynn now. Jordy Flynn with the puck coming up through the neutral zone. Heads up, looking across, fan on the pass through. Alexander puts it back in through the zone. Back to get it there now is Applin. These are all down. We're going to get a power play now for the Kings. Be the first one of the game. And Kings will now get their first chance on the power play. 12:08 left in this first period. Russell with 2 minutes for hooking. Faceoff's going to be at center ice where we had a delayed penalty and the Kings ice the puck, so that brings the faceoff to center. The new captain of the Western Kings, Ryan Applin, is asking for an explanation from referee Zach Fagan. Face-offs here at center ice. A little bit of a debate between the coaches, but here we go. Austin gets it back to Applin. Applin over to Coles. Coles now setting up behind his net. Trying to come through with some steam. Gets it up to Austin. Austin across to Applin. Applin gains his own. Puck goes down down beyond the net. Picked up now by Aiden Applin. Aiden Applin misplays it. Plays it back to Austin. Austin now into Applin. Applin looks across. Puts it into the bumper to Sims. Just missed it. Kept in by Coles. Coles now down to Ryan Applin. Ryan Applin puts it over. Nice little tip pass through. Just didn't make it through to the net. Now we have Jones across to Flynn. Back to Jones again. Back to Flynn, and there's a nice shorthanded goal. Passing back and forth. I think they had 3 passes on that goal, and a great goal to finish by Jordy Flynn. 2-0. Jones and Flynn, dangerous players. Dangerous players last year in this league. Both players for the Mount Pearl Senior High Huskies as well in high school. And it's 2-0 Blizzard. Shorthanded goal. Furlong now in Yabsley for this faceoff. Faceoff win back to the Blizzard player. Williams. Lambswood down behind his net. Sets up. There's the Bursey. Back to Lambswood. Lambswood now. Over to Bursey. Bursey shoots it in around. Party keeps it in. Lambswood. Around to Bursey. Bursey now sets up behind his net. Makes his way through. Looks up ice. Trying to find someone to pass it to here. We got 30 seconds left in the power play for the Kings. That was easily cleared out by the Blizzard player. All the way down. Back to set it up for his defenseman is Andrew Dillon. Lambswood now behind his net. Sets his play. Looks up ice. To Bursey. Bursey. Little move. Gets it in through. Back to get it is Party. Bursey finishes the hit on Party. That penalty is now over. We're back to even strength. Back to get it here is Lambswood. Lambswood holds it down below the net. Comes around the other side. Pass it up to Castle. And then he lost it to Connor. Connor's now back to his D-man. Shot, tip. And we got a third goal of the game here for the Blizzard. That's 89. Hudson O'Keefe finds it back of the net. And it's 3-0 now for the East Coast Blizzard. 9:46 left in this first period. Kings are going to have to find a way to turn it around and get some opportunities here. That's going to be really important. See how they answer to this last goal. We got the strong line out now of Connors and Percy. Let's see how they answer here. Let's see if we got no icing. Icing is weighed off. Back to get it is Percy. Going after his verse. There's Connors now. Connors off the helmet. He was going high. Connors coming through. Makes a little move back to Percy. Percy shoots towards the net. White goes in, just misses his man. Ryan White, that is. So, pass it. Gets the puck in deep there. Going after is Rousseau. Rousseau gets reverse hit by Griffiths, but he still has the puck. Puck goes in front here. Back to get it now. So we got Percy. Percy's going hard to the net. He makes a little move back, waiting for some support. Gets it across to Griffiths. Tries to tuck it in the short side. Didn't happen. And we're going to have a face-off now to the left of Dillon. Percy and Murphy having a little chat there after the whistle. 3-0. East Coast Blizzard, 8:45 left here in the first period. Jackson Rousel to Alexander, who clears it up the ice. Icing his weight off. Hines back down for the Blizzard. He gets it up to Griffiths. Skinner takes a hit there from Carter Lucas. Lucas puts it across in front to Aiden Applin. He missed it. Not sure why there's a whistle. I don't know if the net is off or if the puck went into play. By the way, we're going to have a face-off. I think there might be a player down injured for the Blizzard. I didn't see that happen. I don't have a very good vantage point there, but it looks as though we have one of the Blizzard players are down, being tended to now by the trainer. Still 3-0. 8:33 left in the first period. Officials are discussing something. I don't know if they're wondering if something happened on the play that someone would need to have. Roman Skinner is being escorted off the ice by the trainer, and we are going to have a face-off here to the right of goaltender Healy. Carter Richards is here and taking the face-off. Little lineup change here. Richards wins it back to Austin. Austin puts it down in the corner. Down back to get his Applin. We got a break here. Here comes Galton all by himself. Shot. Big save by Dylan. Great scoring chance. Dylan comes up there. Dylan has seen a lot of pucks so far this period. Between the two power plays and the turnovers, the shorthanded goal that was scored by the Blizzard. Austin wins that faceoff back to Ryan Applin. Ryan Applin now gets it. So now puck goes ahead of Applin. Shoots it towards goalie. Puck goes into the corner. And to get it is Austin. He puts it back to Applin. Applin over to Bursey. Bursey cross ice to Ryan Applin. Ryan Applin shoots it through. And Healy makes that save. 8:04, first period. A little bit of action down in front of the goalie. After that whistle, referee is holding the players. Looks like we have Skinner's making his way to the dressing room. I hope it's nothing serious. 3 games this weekend, and we want him in the lineup like anybody else. We got Julian Jones taking his face off. And Aiden Applin to the right of Healy. Applin wins the face-off. Puck goes loose and is picked up by the Blizzard player. Blizzard player. So we have Russell cross ice to Flynn. Flynn misses wide. Puck goes down behind the net. Ryan Applin's over to get it. Tries to chip it through, didn't get out. Back behind to get it is Ryan Applin. Ryan Applin over to Bursey. Bursey now puts it up through. Serves up one there to Jones. Jones misses wide. Down behind the net, now we have Applin. Applin looks up ice. A little flip pass, going to try to get through. It's going to have to skate hard here, Richards. We're going to have an icing call. And we're going to have another face-off over to the left of Kings goalie Andrew Dillon. Still 3-0. 7:15 left here in this first period between these two teams. East Coast Blizzard, they had a tip-off tournament last weekend, and the East Coast Blizzard went 4 wins and no losses in their first 4 games. The Kings had 4 losses in that weekend. Kings had a couple good showings, though. They played a strong game against the Growlers, 5-4 loss, and they lost in a shootout to the Tri-Pen Osprey. Back here, Party shoots. Puck's loose there, put into the corner by, we're going to have another power play for the Blizzard. So we're going to get a little bit more, and this is going to get a little bit more tangly. Percy is going to get the initial penalty, and we'll have to see what else comes of this. Definitely going to be more than 2, and we'll see what Coach George and referee George and referee Fagan calls on this one. So Jordy Flynn is going to the box for the East Coast Blizzard. Daniel Bursey is going to the box for the Western Kings. And I would think that Bursey would get the extra penalty, but I've seen stranger things happen. It's no matter what the call is going to be. A little bit of extracurricular activities after the whistle. And I would suspect that the Kings should be short-handed, and they are. We got a power play here for the East Coast Blizzard. Bursey's in the box, and Carter Richards, I do believe, is serving 2 minutes for him. Face off to the left, won by Finn Furlong. Finn with the puck now, gets it out. Pulled down, no call. All the way back to Yabsley. Yabsley puts it up through to the Blizzard player. McCarthy spins back. Ryan Applin holds it there on the wall. It's killing some valuable time on this power play. Comes through to Butt. Butt gets it and puts it down the ice. Great job by Ryan Applin to kill a good 30 seconds off that penalty. Yabsley up through the neutral zone. Gains his own. Cross ice. Shot saved by Dillon. Back through to cross ice prior to Yabsley. Yabsley over to his D partner. Comes back to the Yabsley again. Tries to use the defenseman as a screen. Misses high. Comes back around to him again. Yabsley back retreating for the puck. He looks across ice. Puck is there. We got Party. Party coming through. Gains his own. McCarthy down to Connors. Connors, little move. Makes a little move up high, protecting the puck. Turns back through. Down to McCarthy. McCarthy to Griffith. Makes a move around Austin. McCarthy. Cross ice. Empty net. And the puck goes out of play. So the penalty is expired. So we're back to even strength. We still have Flynn and Bursey serving their 4 minutes each for head contact. Connors and Alexander to take this face off. To the left of Dillon. Not sure what the debate is here. We're waiting to see what's happening. Now we're going to have a face-off here. Connors, Alexander set for this draw. Alexander wins it cleanly back to Lambswood. Lambswood puts it around the glass. Hamlin tries to get it out. Didn't get it past. Goes back in through. Lambswood. Lambswood. Up through to Alexander. Alexander up to Hamlin. Hamlin loses it back to Cleary. Cleary now for the Blizzard. Up through to Percy. Percy gains his own. Nice little move back. Trying to help for some support here. Connors now makes a little move through. Another Alexander puts it around the back of the net. Going down to play it is, it looks like we're going to get a little hit from behind by the looks of it here. And again, some more activities after the whistle. I can't see what's happening. I do know the referee has their hand up. And I do believe we'll have a power play for the Western Kings. We'll wait to see what we got here. So we got Alex Cowell going to the box for the East Coast Blizzard. 4:15 here in the first period. Still 3-0. We also have Percy gone to the box. I'm not sure what's happening there. So 2 players went to the box for the East Coast Blizzard. That would make me think that one of them got a misconduct, seeing it's just a 5-on-4. Nope, looks like it's a 5-on-3. So this is a chance now for the Western Kings to get on the board. 5-on-3 for 2 minutes. So Percy and Cal each got 2 minutes. Face-off win back for all the way back down through. Coles now back to set up the Coles makes his way through the neutral zone. Going to set up here now on the middle, taking his time. Need some traffic there. It'll be a little bit harder on the pump. Can't be complacent here. Austin shoots wide. That's not what you want to do on a 5-on-3. You want to make sure that you at least hit the net. Rings out. Wasted some valuable time. Coles shoots it around. All the way around the ice. Picked up there by Applin. Applin back to Austin. Austin is going to set up here now again. 5-on-3. Still a minute left here. Ryan Applin passes through. Tip wide by Sims. Austin back to Coles. Coles over to Applin. Applin. Applin, little tip. Ryan Applin puts it on net. His brother Aiden Applin tips it home for the Kings' first goal of the home this year. Power play marker. Makes it 3-1. Now we got a 5-on-4 pitch. They scored that first one. So now we still got a power play for 48 seconds. There we go. We got Ryan Applin now. Gains his own. All the way down. Puck's cleared up. Coles mishandles it. Comes back out over the line. They got to retreat and set up again. Coles looks back again. Coles is winding up here. Austin over to Coles. Coles Cole shoots through. Applin. Back to Austin. Austin now. Looks. Makes a little turn here. Comes through. Clear back out. 16 seconds. 15 seconds left on the power play. Back to get it is Coles. Coles now all the way back. Starts to make his way up to the ice. Moves through with speed. Up through to Sims. Sims now comes through the middle. Makes a little move back through. Shoots through. Goalie didn't know where it was. But he has it. No worse for the wear is Healy. He's been solid back there for the East Coast Blizzard. So we got 2 minutes, 10 seconds left here in the first period. 3-1 for the Blizzard. Taking this face-off now is Furlong and Jones. Puck's in behind the net. Furlong. Finn Furlong down behind the net. Keeps it down low. Put it the other way. We got Party now who brings it up the ice for the Blizzard. Gosney shoots it into the corner. Keeps it down there. Gosney bobbles it. Recovers. Keeps it out of harm's way. Richards now. Carter Richards with the puck. Shoots it towards the net. Didn't get through. Nice attempt. Hardy all the way up to Russell. Lambswood's back for the Kings. He tips it up out of harm's way. Puck's back all the way down through, and we got Cowell back. Puts no icing. Jones is back there first to the puck. Heads up looking. Puts it in front. Nobody there. Puck slips outside. Back to Griffiths. He puts it back into the zone. Behind his net is Kevin Gosney. Gosney. Pass up to Richards. Richards. Little tip pass up to Butt. Butt misses. Goes all the way back down through to the Blizzard zone. Russell gets it in his feet. Picks it up. Gathers speed through the neutral zone. Pass over to Jones. Jones in through. Uses tipped out of play by Ryan Applin. We're going to have a face-off deep into the King zone. 42 seconds left here in the first period. Three-one Blizzard. Nice crowd here at the Kinsman Arena, as I said earlier. Real nice atmosphere for a Friday night hockey game. Yabsley, Austin. Austin. Puck gets clear. Murphy. Murphy puts it up through. Chip through. Sims up to Austin. Austin. We got Applin going to the net hard. Austin shoots it for a tip. Didn't get through. Ryan Applin's there on his own. Keeps it in. 17 seconds. And I got a feeling we're going to get a power play here. They need to stay out of that now. You don't need any more action. Both teams are a little spirited after the whistle. Sims is player down. He'll be okay, I'm sure. 15 seconds left. We're going to have a face-off in the Blizzard zone to end this period. Kings back on the power play. Special teams are very important in these games. Both of these teams have some pretty high-end talent. Their first line, second lines. And you don't want to be giving them too many opportunities. But right now we got 13 seconds. Puck goes across. Applin. Applin shoots it. Tip through. Aiden Applin puts it down behind. 5 seconds. 3 seconds. And that's going to do it for the period. So it looks like we're going to have another penalty here for the Blizzard. Right at the end of this period, looks like the Kings, unless there's some other action, looks like the Kings will be on the 5-on-3 to start this next period. We'll have to wait and see what the scoring play is on that. So at the end of the period, we had an undisciplined penalty, really, for Griffiths. When it was over. But emotions run high in these games. They play hard. They practice hard. Fun to watch. So at the end of the first period, it's East Coast Blizzard 3, Western Driving School Kings 1. And we will be back to call the second period. Am I good? We're back at action here. Another 5-on-3 for the Western Kings here to start the second period. There's a penalty there at the end of the period for the Blizzard. Now we got wet ice here to start this period, but we're good to go here. So we got Coles. Coles now looking for traffic. Shoots through, goes off defenseman. Austin back to Coles. Coles cross ice to Ryan Applin. Ryan Applin just puts it through. Comes all the way back to Austin. Austin turns, looks, cross ice to Applin. Applin across to Coles. Coles tries to put it across. There's Austin now. Sets up, looks, across to Applin. Applin shoots it. Big save by Healy there. Sims over to Austin. Austin lets it set up. Looks here. Into the bumper to Applin. Big tip over. Austin gets the puck again. Gets it back to Coles. Coles sets up. Ryan Applin. Ryan Applin shoots it through. There's a rebound for Aiden Applin. Still, the puck was loose and the whistle went. We're going to have a face-off here. That's okay. Referee lost sight of the puck, so he blew it down. Healy Bobble had a big save. So we got 32 seconds left in the 5-on-3. And then the Kings will still have a fairly long power play. Furlong loses that to Jones. Jones wins face, gets back now. So we got Richards. Richards back to Coles. Coles shoots it through. Tip. Here's the puck is life. Oh, nice try there. Big, good reaction by Healy to make that save. Cat-like reflexes. Hamlin. Puck sticking on. The ice is pretty wet down there. Furlong over to Richards. Richards back to Coles. Coles looks across just fires it through. Puck's loose there, and we're going to have another face-off. A couple shots on net here. 3 seconds left in the 5-on-3. The first power play unit for the Kings come back on the ice. Blizzard's done a really good job with their formation on this 5-on-3. Sims is taking the face-off here in Jones. Sims, big, strong boy from St. Anthony. Loses that face-off, though, goes all the way back down. Coles is back to get it. So we got Gavin Connors in forcing the puck. Coles sets up behind the net. Got to be careful. The water on the ice. Gets over to Ryan Applin. Ryan Applin gets down low. Sets up behind the net here. Puck goes in front. That's probably one of the craziest goals I've ever seen. But Aiden Applin picks up a second goal of the evening on a fan shot that goes up over the heads of the defenders and the goalie and falls into the net. You couldn't do that. If he tried to repeat it, he'd never be able to do it. But I'm sure the Western Kings would take whatever they can get. And the good thing about that, folks, if you're a Western Kings fan, is that they're still on the power play. I thought. I guess I'm wrong. No, he still has the service minute. So we're back to even straight 3-2. Kings back in the game now. Sims now. Kings his own. So the two Haslam boys connect again for another goal. We got another power, so we got a trip here. This is the right call. So the East Coast Blizzard are going to go to the power play. This game has been a game of special teams. Each team have had their share of power plays. So now we're in a situation where we're going to have Blizzard on a power play for 2 minutes or less. One thing, if you're Coach Mark Robinson, you don't want to give the East Coast Blizzard too many chances with the man advantage. They do have a very strong offensive team. And they won the league last year. They have most of their players are returning, except for a couple who have graduated, and they know how to play hockey. Applin, bad bounce. Puck kept in. We almost had it out there. Percy now sets up for the East Coast Blizzard. He's down. He just sauces it through. Shot rings. Back to Jones. Jones holds it for the Blizzard. Down to Percy. Percy takes his time. Back down. Percy now waiting for traffic in front of net. Back to Jones. Jones shoots. And we got a goal there. East Coast Blizzard. 2-goal lead again. Funny bounce off the back wall. And there to gather the puck was Ethan Percy for the Blizzard, and it's now 4-2. So we have so far in this game, the Kings have scored 2 power play goals. The Blizzard have scored 2 power play goals and a shorthanded goal. So there's only been 1 goal scored 5-on-5, and we're only a period and 4 minutes into the game. Coles. Back to Applin. Lambswood. Lambswood. Up to Rousel. Rousel. Tips it back up through. Back to get it. It's Party for the Blizzard. He's back. Retreats. Turns up ice. Up cross ice. Here's Buffett. Buffett through the neutral zone. 3-on-2. Nice little move. Puts it to the front of net. Nice save. Russell. Andrew Dillon has seen lots of shots, and he's been really good. He's doing well. Hasn't been very many rebounds. It's good to see. Line change here. Kevin Gosney loses it back behind the net. Russell now with the puck down below the line for the Blizzard. Duffett down behind, down to Russell. Russell makes a nice little move to get away from Butt. Butt now. It's the puck here. Puck bounces out. Back to get it. There's a Blizzard player. We have Party now. Moves up. Gains his own. Heads on swivel. Shoots at the cross ice. Rings out the other side. Russell again. Keeps it back. Down behind the net is Ryan Applin. Ryan Applin now takes that puck up to Morgan Castle. Castle gets hit by Yabsley. Puck's turned over. We got McCarthy. Bad line change here, McCarthy. Offside is the call. And now we got a misconduct call against the referee or the coach. Coach was disputing the line or the referee's call. And referee Fagan gives it on sportsmanlike penalty to the bench staff. Now we have another power play. .15:05, second period. Kings back on the power play. I just mentioned a couple minutes ago that almost every goal this evening has been scored with special teams. Oh, they're going to reset and do this again. Kings players thrown out. And do it all over. Referee is trying to, I guess, get things straight away with the scorekeeper. Two minutes up on the board. Face-off win by Applin. Applin over Coles. Coles. Applin across to Austin. Austin puts it down behind the net to Coles. Applin. Applin. Oh, they're going to have to reset out the neutral zone here again. Coles. Gaining speed. Applin. Applin sauces it up there. Aiden Applin shoots it around the back of the net. Austin shoots it down around the other side for Aiden Applin. Aiden. Applin looks, puts it into the bumper there. Tip through. Puck comes back to Austin. Austin loses the puck. So across to Coles. Coles sets up. Austin. Austin now. Over to Applin. Applin. Austin. Gathers speed. Here he comes through the neutral zone. Tries to use Dylan. Hits him. Aiden Applin. Around there, no one there. Dylan gets there first. Kept in by Gosney. Gosney down to Austin. Sims to Austin. Austin now looks back to Coles. Coles shoots through. Misses everybody. Didn't go in. Gosney. Sims down in the corner. Holds on to it. Got Aiden Applin. Coles just tips it in here. We got a tip on net. Another shot through. Saved by Healy. Kings are going to make a change, and so are the East Coast Blizzard. 15 seconds left on the power play for the Western Kings. 4-2 Blizzard. Taking this face off is Furlong and Jones. Hamlin first on the puck. Jones gets it, puts it up there. It's Lambswood. Lambswood down through to Richards. Richards shoots it towards the net. Puck's all the way down. Penalty is over. Dylan comes out and play it. Plays it behind the back of his net. Hamlin. Russell and Hamlin down there fighting for it in the corner. Almost gets all the way out. Lambswood. Lambswood looks up ice. Passes up to Hamlin. Hamlin misplays it there in the neutral zone. Richards just tangled up with his own player, Furlong there. Richards off the glass and out. Up trying to reach for it is Hamlin. Just missed it. Gosney. Gosney. Cross ice to Hamlin. Hamlin makes a little move. Furlong. Oh, Cardi intercepts that one. Brings it in. Oh, we got an offside. Another change here. So Jordy Flynn is now back on the bench for the Blizzard. He had to serve all of his minutes from the penalties that he got there in the first period. Connors. Cross ice to Griffiths. He puts it back through. Murphy. Back to get it. Takes a hit, puts it through. Lucas. Puts it over. and hits the trainer on the hands, I do believe. We're going to have a face-off into King's End. Coaching staff of the Blizzard, they're kind of laughing at their own trainer who got hit. I guess they're wondering who's going to fix you if something happens. So we got Connors now and Butt for this face-off. Face-off win for Butt. Comes back out through White. White tips it up. Back to get it is Cleary for the Blizzard. Being pursued by Castle. Castle intercepts it. It's going to have to go off, though. It's Percy. Connors is up. Castle sends it all the way back. Cleary's back to get it for the Blizzard. Cleary banks it up through Cahill. Percy over to Connors. Connors now shoots, misses wide. Empty net. He's going to get a penalty, but he probably saved a goal. He had an empty cage, and if he didn't get his hands on him, he probably would have scored. So we'll see now if the team can do a little favor for Morgan Castle, who probably just took one to save a goal. 11:07 left here in the second period. East Coast Blizzard back on the power play again. Austin and Percy to take this face off. Austin pushes it forward. Gets it all the way down the ice. Connors is back to set up. Connors. Cross ice to Flynn. Cleary. That's icing. Should be. No icing called. I thought it should have been icing on the call. Maybe it wasn't tipped. Sims puts it up through. Little bank is what he needed to do there. Out to get it is Healy. Back again. Cahill. Connors. Sets up. Back to Cleary. Cleary to Connors. Connors across to Percy. Block. Austin trying to get through here. Being pursued. Austin gets it. Short-handed here. And he scores. Shorty. Full open the legs of the goaltender, and he slipped it in. Got a little lucky there, but closes that gap. 4-3. $10:16 to play in the second period. I'd say that goal is for Morgan, who took that penalty to stop a goal. Still a minute left on the power play here, though, for the East Coast Blizzard. Furlong going in hard on it. Gets to do it first. Hines now. Jordy Flynn, nice move. Gets in. He can shoot the puck. Goes down low. He's still very hard by Applin. He's no worse for the wear. Dylan, across to Flynn. Flynn sets it up, looks down. Puck goes all the way down the ice. Dylan's back to get it for the Blizzard. He turns and sets up. Flynn gains zone. Nice cross ice play. Stick on it by Applin. Aiden Applin, that is. Flynn with the puck again. Looks across over to Dylan. Dylan. Shot. Tipped through. Makes it to the other side. Didn't spur it out. Close here. Now we got power play is over. Puck didn't get out. Percy's back there. Percy playing defense this year for the Kings. Adds that physical presence for the blue line. Chips it out. So 8:48 left here in the second period. 4-3. We got a game. Yabsley with the win. Back to his D. Puts it in around McCarthy's down there. Gosney up to Applin. Applin looking to bank it through. Austin beats it through. Goalie's going to come out and play it. Puck comes all the way across. Yabsley's challenging. Murphy is there to help him out. It's all the way down. I think this will be icing, and it is. Good play by Murphy to put pressure on the forward on the wall. And as a result, it forced him to shoot the puck all the way down. Gives the Kings an offensive zone face-off. With 8 minutes left here, 8:27 left in the second period. Scores 4-3 Blizzard. Richards now taking the face-off. He won it, nobody got there. Hardy playing a good game for the Blizzard. Puts it up through to O'Keefe. Yabsley. Cross ice to McCarthy, who just chipped it in the zone. O'Keefe down behind his net, looking for someone to pass it to. Gets it back to his D partner. Blocked. Austin's in on a breakaway. Just him in the goalie. It's nice goal for Austin there. We got a 3-4 game. 7:59 left here in the second period. That was an even strength goal. I think it's the only second even strength goal of the game. Now we're tied up 4-4. Lots of game left. I'm sure both coaches are telling their teams, keep your foot on the gas. Kings got to be ready to go here. Both teams have some very powerful forwards, as I mentioned earlier. And they need to be aware. We got now Hamlin back. Timms. Coming around the back of the net is Jones. Jones and Flynn. Flynn tries to put across, and we got over. There's Jones. Jones looking for help. Always dangerous. Jordy Flynn puts it down beyond to Russell. Hamlin chips it up. Back to get it now is we've got Tyler Sims. Tyler Sims plays it down low. Goes and gets it himself. Down to get it. It's Furlong. Furlong and Sims. Two big boys down behind the net holding in for the Kings. Russell's there doing his job as a D-man. Sims comes away with it. It's in front. They had an aggressive forecheck. We had Sims and Furlong. Two big boys waiting for the puck down the line of net. Sims gets it. Puts it in the front of the net. Furlong just puts it on the backhand. Fires it home. 5-4 Kings. Pretty sure the East Coast Blizzard will call the timeout. Coach Mike Lee is going to get his team rallied over there. Like I said earlier, this is a good team. They know how to win. They're not going to quit easily. Still lots of game left. 6:37 left here in second period. 5-4 Western Driving School Kings. Here we go, 5-4. Connors, Alexander for this face-off. Connors wins that face-off, gets it back. Ryan Whitland now coming through the neutral zone. Gains his own back. Connors now turns it on. Carter Lucas does a good job of getting the puck from Connors. Dylan banks it up to Connors. Connors has it now for the East Coast Blizzard. Makes a move down there. He's down. So we have a 5-4 game, even though the clock here at the Civic Center says 4-4. Percy, over to Connors. Connors using the screen. Puck goes in front. Here's Connors now with a great chance, and he scores. What a shot. Buries it up top. 5-5 now. Like I told you, Coach Lee had that timeout, talked to his players, they regrouped, and you can't give some of those guys space. If you're going to give Connors and Percy, Jones, Flynn, you're going to give those guys space, they're going to score. That was a great shot. 5-5. Still lots of time. Let's see how the Kings react. Austin and Duffett for the draw. Puck goes back to Gosney. Gosney goes behind the net with the puck. Stops and sets up. Retreats back. It's in a little bit of trouble down there. There's two Blizzard. Back to help him out now is Applin. Applin comes away with it. Puck's kicked in front here. Gosney banks it up all the way back down. That's going to be icing, I think, for the Kings. And now we're going to set up a few little things after the whistle. I think they're going to stop, move away. We're going to have a face-off down to the right of goaltender Dillon. Austin and Duffett for the face-off here now. Puck gets through. Chipped away by Richards. Pride of the Portabass Blaze Minor Hockey Association. Murphy. Out. Back here, we got the defenseman gets lots of time. Stepped up on him by can't leave without the puck, guys. And we got another face-off to, this time it'll be to the left of Andrew Dillon. Western Kings this year, we have players from all parts of the West Coast. A lot of commitment, a lot of dedication to play in Western Newfoundland as part of this program. Associations are spread out all over the place, and these families really enjoy the game, and they make sure that they come every year, form a team, and they do their best to compete. Back to player Lambswood. Back to Coles. Coles puts it up through to Castle. Castle puts it in the middle. Coles now back, has a look. Coles up the wall. Who tips it. And again, it is Whitey is in Morton Castle on the forecheck. Coles. Oh, we got offside here. Linesman's eyes are laser sharp this evening. I don't think the coaching staff of the Blizzard agree with that call. So we had face-off win here. Here comes Coles. Coles makes a little move up through the neutral zone. Makes his way over to the blue line. Shoots through. Here's Sims in pursuit. Sims at the puck. Down behind it is Cleary. He puts it behind a Griffiths. Griffiths up to McCarthy. McCarthy puts it rink wide to Yabsley. Yabsley, nice little move. And we're going to have a face-off here. A little bit of X. Anytime players go and finish strong at the net, you're going to have a little bit of excitement after the whistle. No one's worse for the wear in that one. And we're going to have a face-off to the right of Dillon. We're going to have the dangerous Jones taking his face off. With Finn Furlong. Daniel Versey comes around, puts it up the wall. Back to the point that's cleared to the corner. Sims goes in and finishes his hit. Russell for the Blizzard. It's a back. Griffiths. Shoots through there. Tip wide. Jones. Back to Griffiths. Cross to Cleary. Cleary shoots it. Versey retreats back through. Versey banks it back to Applin, his D partner. Applin looks up ice. Nice little cross play. Trying to get it to Hamlin. Back is Jones. Puck is tipped off. We got Sims. Sims got a good set of hands. He's looking for support. Comes back up, cycles up the wall. Loses it. Russell chips it up, try to get up to Flynn. That's going to be offside if they play it. He played it back. Puck's cleared back in. Dillon has to play it and put it to the side of the net. He's not sure where it is. Back to get it is Versey. Versey holds it, waiting for some support. Flynn now. You don't want Flynn to have looking out shot. And pops the water bottle. What a shot. I was just about to say, you don't want that guy with the puck. He can fire it. 6-5. Dillon would like to have that one back, but that was well-placed shot right top glove side. Popped the water bottle. Great highlight reel goal. 2:16 left here, second period. 6-5 Blizzard. Still lots of game. Both teams have shown they can score goals. Here's Austin now. Puts it back to Coles. Coles looks up ice, gives it to Applin. Applin. Richards just missed it. There's Connors. Connors back here being pursued by Austin. Chipped in. We get back hard here is Coles. Coles and Percy goes after the puck. Coles comes away with it. Goes back behind the net. Cowell back to Dillon. Dillon into Percy. Percy puts it in front. Cleared out. Didn't get all the way. Austin tried to pick it up. Kept in. Puck goes back in behind the net to Cowell. Cowell's looking in front. Puck goes, there's Austin now. Austin and Dillon one-on-one. Looking, Coles is coming hard to the net. Austin used as the screen. Here's for the rebound. Shot for a rebound on that post. Almost worked. Minute 7 left here. Second period. Still 6-5. Blizzard. Lots of goals in this period. Lots of action. The fans that came in tonight, they're not bored for sure. They're getting to see lots of end-to-end action, lots of shots. Both goalies have made lots of saves. Entertaining. They're doing this again tomorrow night, 6:30. Sunday morning, 11 o'clock here at the Kinsman Arena here in Corner Brook. Get out and support your Western Kings. Come out and watch your East Coast Blizzard, whatever team you want to cheer for. Back to the action here. We got a face-off here now to the left of Healy. There's the last minute of play announcement by our public address announcers. Puck's back now. Here's Sims. Sims just puts it in the corner. Back to get his party. He's played a strong game for the East Coast Blizzard. Gosney just shoots it in. Back behind the net to get it is the Blizzard defenseman. He looks behind, gives it to Party, his partner. Party sets up behind. Patience. Looks, sees the ice well. Just flips it up, and we got a souvenir for the fans. I'm hoping nobody got hit hard. Hopefully everybody's okay. It's going to be another face-off down deep in the zone. Both teams make changes. 25 seconds left. The Kings throw it their top unit. Austin's taking his face off with Jordy Flynn. Austin wins it. Puck goes back behind. Oh, Dylan gets it from the winger. You got to get back and retreat. You don't want to give up one here with 15 seconds left. Here's Flynn. He's coming with speed. That's offside, I think. Nope. Back and through. O'Keefe puts it behind the net. We got to get that through. 5 seconds. Applin puts it up. And we're going to get a. And that's the end of the second period. Both teams are going to go to the dressing room after a very entertaining second period. We're at 6-5 for the East Coast Blizzard. Shots on goal, and that's just that was 29 for the Kings and 27 for the Blizzard. We'll be back to see the third period.
Ready to switch jump ball. 3, 2, 1. Jump your pucks.
Driving School Kings. Lots of goal scoring in the second period. And right now we have, after 2, East Coast Blizzard 6, Western Driving School Kings 5. Both teams are getting lots of shots towards the goalies. Both goalies have been playing really well. Last couple goals scored by the East Coast Blizzards, one by Connors and one by Flynn, were fantastic goals. I guess the referees are waiting for the ice to dry a little. It's a nice bit of water right on the ice. And again, lots of action happening here at the Corner Brook Civic Center this weekend. Over on our main ice surface, we're playing in the Kinsman Arena this weekend, and that's because we have the agricultural fair is happening at the main rink of the Corner Brook Civic Center. All of the farmers and different people that are involved in that agricultural industry from the West Coast are represented over there. So if you're in Corner Brook tomorrow, drop by the Civic Center and pick up your eggs, your fresh vegetables, all that sort of stuff. And if you're still around, drop into the Kinsman Arena at 6:30 tomorrow and watch the second game of this 3-game series between the Western Kings and the East Coast Blizzards. I'm sure it's going to be entertaining. These teams, the Kings are an improved looking team so far after the opening weekend in this one. And they're giving us something to cheer about here. There we go. Carry 3. Connors, Austin for the face-off here. Austin wins the face-off. Gets it back to Applin. Applin to Bursey. Bursey up through the middle. Gets picked up by Percy. Percy makes a nice little move. Comes around. Water still, lots of water on the ice here. So we got Cal back behind the net. Fighting for the puck with Applin, gets it out. Back to Dylan. Dylan up to Connors. Connors puts a rink over across to Percy. Percy looking for the trailer. Not there. Austin now turns up ice. Austin, Dylan. Trailer's coming, Hines. Austin shoots it. Short side. Save. Goes to the front here. Puck still alive in front of net. Now Connors all the way back. Connors. Coles. One-on-one. Coles wins that battle. Austin takes it here. Chips it up through. Fights his way in through. Dylan. Austin now still in the corner. Cowell hits him. Dylan comes after Austin. Rink side. Here's Percy. Goes off him. Coles is back to help interfere. Puck slips out. McCarthy chips it back to Hardy. Hardy to Percy. Sims takes over the puck here. Chips it down in the corner. Yabsley back behind the net for his D-man. Back down to Party. Party sets up behind his net. Looks around the other side. Over to McCarthy. Up to Yabsley. Yabsley looking, waiting for help. Back here now, we got Hamlin. Hamlin looks up ice. Passed it up here. Goes in through. Here's Furlong going. Hardy. Gosney. Gosney now for the Kings. Bobbles it. Picked up by McCarthy. McCarthy's in all alone. He scores. There we go. 7-5. Blizzard. Puck was turned over to neutral zone. He goes in. Goes around Dylan. And now we have a 2-goal lead. 17-53. Let's see how the Kings respond here. Still lots of game left. Alexander and Jones for this face-off. That's Applin. Applin puts it up. Back through Cleary. Cleary over to Griffiths. Griffiths up to Flynn. Back to get that first is Bursey. Bursey comes back up the wall and gives it to Jones. Jones back in the slot to Russell. Nice save by Andrew Dillon. Back to Griffiths. Griffiths. Oh, it gets outside. Couldn't hold the line on the bouncing pull. Back to get it is Ryan Applin. Applin. Applin sets up behind the net. Waits for support. Jones now. Percy. Handling the puck in his own end, which is always a scary thing, and he's trying to get that out as soon as you can. Alexander going hard on Griffith, 7-on-7. Down in the corner. Coming in here is Kyler Lucas. Lucas tries to get himself some speed, some space. Him and Cleary are fighting for the puck in the corner. Coming away with it is Alexander. Alexander behind the net. Pass out front to, tries to get it out front. Alexander showing some strength there. Alexander still down in the corner with puck. Alexander and Griffiths. Alexander puts it in front. No one there. Coming away with it is Jones. Jones up to Flynn. Flynn gains his own back to Jones. Jones shoots it wide. Chipped out by Castle. All the way back to get it is Dillon. And that's going to be icing. So with the hybrid rule in the Newfoundland U18 AAA League, on an icing call, the players that are on the ice for the team that iced the puck must stay on the ice for that face-off. But the other team can change. So we got fresh legs out against players that just had a really tough shift. So this is where conditioning comes in. So we got Duffett and Alexander for this face-off. Alexander wins the face-off. Coming out now, we got is Lucas. Lucas dumps it in. Healy out to play it. Puts it off the glass. Over to Coles. Coles puts it down into the corner. Back behind the net. Here's Dillon. Dillon. Up the boards to Hines. Hines. Over to Dillon. Dillon. That misses everybody. That's going to be icing is the call. So we got 15:51 left here, third period. 7-5 East Coast Blizzard. Duffett and Applin for this face-off. Applin, puck still in the feet of the official. Back behind the net. Now we got O'Keefe picking up for the Blizzard. O'Keefe overthrew, picked off by Applin. Applin now comes into the zone, shoots it towards the net, and Healy swallows that. Not going to take any chances here with Austin, who has 2 goals, and Aiden Applin has 2 goals. So we got 4 goals there on the ice. They're not going to give those guys any more chances to score. Face-off coming up here to the right of Healy. Austin pushes it through. Set play. He has it. Picked out by Duffett. Duffett. Gosney. Austin now. Austin shoots it. Big save there. Gosney. Gosney plays it towards the net. Tipped by Richards. Puck still deep down into the zone. Richards goes after it. Coming away with it is Dillon. Hines now behind his Blizzard net. Turns up ice. He misses everybody. That's going to be an icing call. And that's going to bring the puck all the way back to the left of goaltender Healy. 15:04 left here, third period. Still 7-5 Blizzard. Still lots of time left here for the Western Driving School Kings. Castle. Lots of energy, puts it down low. Ryan White misses, goes around. A little bit of fight for the puck around the wall here. Coming away from his Duffett. He's pulled down by Morgan Castle. Castle's going to get a second penalty of the game. Now we got Duffett entering the zone, looking cross ice. The goalie's out. Back behind, we got Ryan Apple's going to play that puck, and now we got Morgan Castle going to the penalty box for 2 minutes for trip, and we'll see how the Kings answer on this penalty kill. It has been a game of special teams. Each team has done well on the power play, and each team has scored a shorthanded goal. So we'll see what happens this time. We got Austin and Sims out up front for the Kings, and Coles and Lambswood out on the back end. Hardy, Percy, Connors, Cowell, and Williams, I believe. Connors tipped out by Sims all the way down. One thing about it here, when Healy comes out and plays it, here's Connors now with speed coming through the neutral zone. Connors gaining speed. He's looking. Nice move. Just moved away here by the defenseman. Percy's holding off Coles. Percy loses it to Lambswood down low. Percy off the wall, back to Connors. Connors looks rink side. Goes over to Party. Party shoots. Big save by Dillon. We've seen the puck all the way. He's swallowing up, no rebounds. Changing up here now on the PK. Got Furlong and Applin up front, and brother Ryan Applin and Percy on the back end. Percy, Cowell, Hardy, Connors, and Williams out for the Blizzard. Coming away with us, Percy. Percy cross over to Williams. Williams to Connors. Connors waiting for someone to move around to get open. He shoots it back around the back of the net. Comes over to Party. Williams now. Williams for the Blizzard. Over to Connors. Connors had to play it with a skate. Connors puts it down around the back of the net. We got Applin. He's over there fighting for it. Coming away with his Cowell. He's down to Connors. Connors makes a little move around. Connors looking for shoot. Shoots high. He's got a great shot. The thing went off sticking out. And that shot, that's going to be a high stick. And that's going to be a face-off all the way back. Bit of a break for the Western Kings. 32 seconds left in this power play for the Blizzard. 13:01 left here, third period. 7-5 Blizzard. Furlong and Yabsley for the face-off. Furlong wins it back to Murphy. Murphy shoots it through. There's Furlong. Furlong puts it in front. Keeps it down behind his heel. He sets it for Griffiths. Griffiths turns up ice. Makes his way through. Back to his D partner over to Yabsley. Yabsley all the way up. Gains his own. Puts it cross ice to Griffiths. Griffiths takes his time. Looks for help. Gets it to Yabsley. Turns back. Cross ice to Griffiths. Big save by Dillon. Penalty is over. Murphy, I don't think Murphy knows penalty is over. He could have had that out. We're back to 5-on-5 action here. Griffiths down low. Murphy, fans on it. Griffiths still with the puck. Puts it down behind the net. Gone to get it as Coles. Missed it. Goes around to McCarthy. McCarthy back to Cleary. Cleary to McCarthy. McCarthy looks across ice. They're no longer on the power play. They got to bear down here, the Kings do. Puck gets out. Griffiths has a retreat being pursued by Furlong. Hamlin misses the puck. Now we got Griffiths. Puts it across. Yabsley gets in through. Yabsley taking his time setting up. Alexander just chips it out all the way down. Won't be any icing on that play. Back to get it is Griffiths. He's been out there for a while now. Over to Dillon. Dillon back to Griffiths. Griffiths up the ice, misses. Lambswood up to Hamlin. Hamlin has to wait for the onside. Jordy Flynn now being pursued by Lucas. Lambswood over, chipped in. Hamlin and Dillon going for the puck. Hamlin protects himself, gets the puck. Back to Alexander. Alexander puts it behind the net. Over to get it is Hines. Hines puts it behind for his D partner, Dillon. Picked up by Alexander. Down behind the net. Now we have Hines. Bit of energy here from this line of Alexander, Lucas, and Hamlin. Flynn now, always dangerous. Flynn shoots, and he hits the crossbar, and it goes out. What a shot. That kid can shoot. So we're going to have another face-off here now to the right of Andrew Dillon. He's had lots of shots on him this evening. Doing a really good job in the net. Jones and Austin for the face-off. Jones wins it back to Dillon. Dillon shoots. Dillon on Dillon. Russell and Applin are discussing what they're probably going to do after the game this evening. Ask them how the bus ride was over today, probably. Jones and Austin here for the face-off. Back to Hines. Hines shoots. Fans on one through. Flynn now. Flynn shoots it towards the net. And it tipped it right over the top of the net. Nice play by the East Coast Blizzard. That gives them a 3-goal cushion. We're at 8-5 here. 10:20 left in the third period. Now the Kings have their work cut out on that innocent little play. Jordy Flynn put the puck towards the front of the net. And Russell, I believe it was, tipped it home. So we're at 8-5 now. Blizzard, still half a period left here. Still lots of time. You just got to be ready to play. Flynn is back again. He's looking for more. Shot wide. White gets it out behind. And, the linesman says it out. Like I said, the linesman's been really keen this evening. Face off here. Gavin Butt and Ethan Jones for the face-off. White back to Coles. Coles chips it out. Goes back down to get it as Lambswood. Lambswood sets up behind his net. Lambswood over to Coles, over to his D partner. Coles puts it up through. Kept in by Jones. Jones over to Flynn. Flynn uses it as a screen. Coles. Button's in there with Russell. Got to come away with this puck now. Butt gets it out. Coles shoots it in the corner. He's up on the rush. Here's a D. Back on Hines. Pardon me. Russell. To Flynn. Flynn. Up to Jones. Jones makes a move. Puts puck in front. Gets back to Williams. Williams shoots it. There's a big rebound. No goal. Williams shoots it back in. Back to get it is Galton. He's hit by Castle. Murphy puts it around the other side. Bounces. Funny bounce. Kept in by Flynn. Flynn. Cross to Jones. Jones head up looking to Flynn. Flynn shoots. Save Dillon. 8:50 left in this third period. 3-goal lead for the Blizzard. And then action here this evening. Dillon and Furlong for the face-off here. Percy gets it up here. McCarthy. McCarthy picks up the puck, looks, takes his time. Picked up by Hamlin. Hamlin up to Sims. Sims loses it to Purdy. Purdy. Duff it over to McCarthy. McCarthy now. Big move. Falls down. Back to Purdy. Purdy shoots it. That got tipped on his way through. Percy puts it around the side. Goes back in here. So that's Applin now down behind the net with the puck. Applin always gives 100% every shift. One of the hardest working players on this team. Part of the Deer Lake Minor Hockey Association. Coming away with it now is Furlong. Furlong shoots it up through. Picked off by Duffett. Stretch pass was there. Sims now trying to get in there. Williams. Across the Cleary. Percy. Percy. Looks. Percy looks up ice. See if he got anything to do here. Gets to the line and puts it in. Back it is Healy. He puts it behind the net for his D partner. Percy now. Percy making his way through. Percy over to McCarthy. McCarthy'd like to have that one back. Griffith shoots it back. Delayed offside. Back to it is Coles. Coles over to Cowell. Or he gets away from Cowell. Up now. Here's Rousel. Lost it back. Lambswood back to get it for gives it to Coles. Coles now cross ice to Lucas. Lucas gets a hits his centerman in the back. Cal and Coles. There's a power play coming up for the Kings. Cal's stick got inside on Coles, and we're going to have ourselves a power play. And we'll see how this works out for the Kings. 8-5, 6.5 minutes left in the third period. Kings are going to the power play. They get a quick one, and they're back in it. We'll see what happens. So we got the two Applin brothers out here. Tyler Sims, Alex Coles, Alex Austin. Percy, Connors, out for Blizzard. They're going to be dangerous. You better watch them. Austin now shoots it to Applin. Applin fans on the shot. Puck gets down. Coles holds the line. Puts it down into the corner. We got Sims here, and they're going to get a face off here to the left of Healy. 6:08 left in the third period. Still lots of time. Need to get a quick one. Try to get the other team under heels. Connors wins that face off easily. Back to Cleary. Cleary taken out. Now we got Applin has the puck. Applin looks back in the corner, but his brother had a stick on. Has it back now. Connors now is trying to get it out. Kept in by Sims. Sims with a nice move. Ryan Applin tried to get it across to Sims. Ryan Applin down the corner with Cleary. They're fighting for the puck. They're going to try to move that. Gets clear. Aiden Applin. Aiden. Applin back to Austin. Austin looks, see what he can see here. Shoots it through. Easy save for Healy. You could see it. Looks like Coach Mark is changing it up here. Minute left on this power play. 5:32 left in the game. Or in regulation, anyway. Face-off win. Lambswood. Lambswood now. Puts it over across there. So we got Bursey. Bursey. Back to Lambswood. Lambswood. Cross to Richards. Richards puts it down low. Missed by Furlong. Bursey pinches down. Furlong. Keeps it back. Puck's down low in the corner here. Comes over here now. So he's able to clear it all the way down the ice. Dylan has to play it. Russell's coming after him, so he's got to make sure it gets out. Puck's up to Furlong. Furlong comes off to Bursey. Bursey gets into the zone. Tries to make a move. Furlong puts it in front. Lambswood to Bursey. Bursey, cross ice. Richards. Richards back to Lambswood. Lambswood to Richards. Richards. Period. Power play is over. Got a shot there right at the end of it. .427 left here, third period. This 8-5 game. Jones and Austin. Austin wins the faceoff. Back to Sims. Sims to Ryan Applin. Ryan Applin puts it through. Didn't get all the way in. Now here comes the Blizzard. McCarthy. McCarthy. McCarthy now to Flynn. Flynn shoots and he scores. You can't let him shoot the puck. He's one guy you got to get out on so he doesn't get those shots away. I think that's his third of the game. Nine 5 now. 4 minutes left. Jordy Flynn with a real nice far side low goal to give the Blizzard a 4-goal lead. White. Gosney. Gosney. Turns it over to Jones. Castle. Castle shoots it off the boards and out. There's White now going hard for the puck. Ryan White. Ethan Jones now. Jones. Big move. Looks wide. Shoots. Goes wide. All the way back. Now we got Alexander. Cross to Bursey. Bursey. Bursey now. Over to Lucas. Lucas off the glass. Gets out. Alexander throws it in. Skates after it. Healy's in to play it. Now we got Jones. Jones coming through. Jones, McCarthy's in all by himself. McCarthy. And we're going to get ourselves a power play. A little bit of activity after the whistle. Coach George. 2:48 left here. 9-5 Blizzard. And they're going to be going back to the power play, I do believe, or is the net off? I can't remember what. I thought there was a penalty on the play. Yep, Murphy. Murphy gets a penalty for holding, I believe it is. Face-off is outside, and that was because the defense were in. So 2:48 here, 9-5 Blizzard. Connors wins that face-off. Griffiths. Connors uses his big frame to protect the puck. Dalton. Dalton now rims it around the back over to Cleary. Cleary just chips it back to Griffiths. Griffiths comes across to Connors. Connors uses a nice little move. Connors tries to go short side blocker. To no avail. Puck gets cleared down. Griffiths is back. Roughing is the call on Connors. He doesn't agree with it. Now he's getting a misconduct. He's having a few more words to say. So we got 2:10 left here. 4-on-4 now. As Connors has 2 minutes for roughing and a 10-minute misconduct. Face-off win back to Hamlin now. Hamlin back to Coles. Coles walks in, fires it. Big shot. Swallowed up by Healy. No traffic. He's seen it. Shots have been pretty even in this game. What's nice to see this evening is that Kings haven't caved. They're still working hard here. They get to do all this. It's a minute 57. It's clear to say this one's out of hand. But they get to do all this again tomorrow, 6:30 here at the Kinsman Arena. So you want some entertainment? Looking for something to do on a Saturday evening? Come on out to the Kinsman Arena and watch your Western Driving School Kings play the East Coast Blizzard. Sure to be entertaining, as this game is today. There was a point when the Kings were up 5-4. Connors is being sent to the dressing room. Surprised they allowed him to go across the ice with no helmet on. Coles. Cross to Applin. Applin fires it in, and Healy seen it. He stops it. Minute 49 left here in this game. We're still 4-on-4 for minute 2. Applin. Coles. Shoots it over the net. Little bounce. Always can be dangerous. Percy now. Percy using the D as a screen. Puts it back out through to Oh, got two more guys going off. Coincidental minors. So we got a minute 27 seconds, 27 left here. Referee Fagan just sent two more people off. Coincidental minors. Face-off is going to be down in the King zone. O'Keefe and Rousel for this face-off. Face-off win back to, we got Austin now. Austin going one-on-one with Purdy. He's looking, and Rousel going. He couldn't get there, so now it's kept in by Lambswood. Good hold on the line. Purdy down behind the net with the puck. Austin goes in and bodies him. Looking to try to get the puck clear. And that's going to be, that was a bit of embellishment, I think, but nonetheless, we're going to have a penalty. Austin's asked him how his bus ride was over today. Now we got the East Coast Blizzard back on the power play for 8 seconds. O'Keefe. Percy now with the puck. Comes back around, looks. Little read route back behind his net. Makes a move out through. They're onside. It's onside play. 35 seconds left. Little salt in the wound. But East Coast Blizzard. And that makes it 10. That's one they should never give up. You want to keep it in single digits. And that goals make the fans are leaving. I guess the 5-goal spread they figured was enough. "30 seconds left there. The East Coast Blizzard have come on strong in this first period. We knew they were tough. Kings went up 5-4. And now the Blizzard have scored 6 unanswered goals to take a commanding lead and a convincing win in this match. And like I said, they're going to do all this again tomorrow. And we're going to have a few more activities after the whistle. 13 seconds left. At this point, we just need to get this one over. Big reset for the Kings. Big road win for the Blizzard. Gutsy third period for the East Coast Blizzard. Face-off win back to Dylan. Dylan shoots. O'Keefe. O'Keefe with the shot, and Dylan makes the save. 5.7 seconds left here. Keep in mind, folks, this is all happening again tomorrow at 6:30. Come by the Civic Center tomorrow and watch your East Coast Blizzard, Western Driving School Kings. Come and cheer for the team that you like the best. That's it for everything in the evening. Final score, 10-5 East Coast Blizzard. Thanks for tuning in.